What do you mean she is important?
She's not important. That's what the last one told us. Nobody's important. Nothing's important ever anymore.
But 1,000 generations live in her.
Hot.
Gross. There it is. That's the beginning of the episode.
Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I am Joe Brown.
It's been a while.
I am joined by my best
I
friend.
said I'm sorry.
I am joined by my best friend, Joe Parian. And if I'm a little distracted, that is because we are playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate right now. And I have never played this game on Joy-Cons before. Because I'm playing a handheld because I don't have my Switch set up right now. So I am, as we're going along, trying to figure out the buttons because it is not a GameCube controller. So anyway, let me introduce the show again. This is Cup of Joe's episode. I don't even know. I'm trying to beat this Bowser up. We're gonna have a quicker episode for you this week.
There it is.
There's the first stock of the game. Joe's also a registered psychopath because his rule set is 4 stock 10 minutes, which I don't think even Charles Manson would play under those stipulations. But
Wow, do not categorize me with that, man, because you're bad at this game and you can't handle the heat.
So anyway, we have 3 topics for you here as we get ready to watch Game of Thrones today. The first one will be the new Star Wars trailer and our thoughts on it, the Rise of Skywalker, whatever it is, Rise of Skywalker, I don't know.
Rise of Skywalker, dog. Come on.
Right.
We just watched it.
We literally just watched it. It was a good time. Fun was had by all. And then the other thing is we're going to talk about Borderlands 3 because Joe's a big Borderlands fan. We'll go over that. And then our third topic, a little more interesting, a little more meta discussion as I get absolutely nailed by Bowser's smelly feet again, is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Or as we call it, Shakira, hips don't lie.
That's a great name. Should they implement an easy mode? This has kind of been going on, like a discussion about this has been going on the internet for the last I'd say week or so. So those are
the game came out pretty much.
Those are our 3 topics we have today. So we're going to start with Star Wars, Joe. Now,
okay.
For anyone who has been listening to us for a long time and you were around when The Last Jedi came out, you know that we actually did an episode that was just on The Last Jedi. And I believe to this day it is still our most viewed episode. We had a lot of good traction on that one on Podbean. So people like when you talk Star Wars on the internet, I found out. And with the new trailer for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, there's a lot of questions.
What are your questions?
Okay.
I'll answer them. I got LucasArts on the phone right now, even though they're not making that movie anymore. I got them. So what's up?
Okay. My first question is they showed off a scene of Rey in the jungle, right? And
in the jungle. Okay, yes.
And she's in this might have been just a photo at the Star Wars celebration thing or whatever, but they showed off in her new white, savior outfit or whatever, where it's all pure white and all that stuff.
Gross.
Now the first thought that came in my head is, why would you go into the jungle wearing pure white? That is going to get super dirty.
Oh my god.
Am I wrong?
Okay, yeah, but we're also dealing with a fucking movie that deals with metachlorine in your bloodstream. What else? Let's get hung up on the fact that... I'm just saying,
she has to watch out. She needs to bring Tide with her. She needs to, whatever planet she's going on to train right now. She needs some, she needs to be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Smokey the Bear taught us to always be prepared, so...
Smokey the Bear did teach us to always be prepared, but in this universe, Smokey the Bear does not exist in...
Okay. So,
Okay.
on to real questions. What the hell does, in your opinion, Rise of Skywalker mean? Are we saying the same people or are we changing characters? What are we doing?
Wait, what?
Are we changing characters? This is me and you conversation because we're playing Smash right now.
Oh no, I told you we're done.
Oh, okay. We're only played once.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you won. Congratulations, Joe.
I didn't want to hold you up the whole time.
Okay. Thank you. Now I can charge my Switch, which is on like 7%. So, what the hell does the Rise of Skywalker mean to you?
Means that we're gonna take back what's ours.
What?
I don't know, man. It's the next movie in the trilogy. Like, they said that they were ending the saga here, but I don't think they're really gonna end the saga. It's just another Star Wars movie. We're gonna see what happens. We got a cackle from Palpatine at the end of it, so he's coming back. Luke's like, "You're never really gone," so he's definitely still alive. So what's up? We saw Rey's hugging Princess Leia, like they love each other, all lovey-dovey like. So what it means is no one's dead, everyone dies, but never dies. You know, that's what I'm getting at.
As the Greyjoys would say, what is dead may never die. That. All right. Well, I'll give a crack at it. Because these movies, they have titles for a reason. They're obviously significant. The Force Awakens was about the Force awakening within Rey. The Last Jedi, they tricked us, made us think that Luke is going to be the last Jedi, and in the end, he's like, I will not be the last Jedi. So saying that Rey's going to be it. So, the significance of this title, the Rise of Skywalker, it could mean myriad things here, but the common beliefs are, oh my god, Rey is a Skywalker, and that the whole thing has been about her because she's a Skywalker. We're going to find out that her parents aren't nobodies, it's actually, who knows, Leia or whoever. Or, 2, Kylo Ren is going to have a redemption arc the same way that Darth Vader had in Episode 6, so that would be the Rise of Skywalker, because remember, Kylo Ren is a Skywalker. Or 3, this is very popular on the internet right now, they're going to disband the religions and the creeds of the Jedi and the Sith, and all Force powers are going to be under one union, and that Force is going to be named Skywalker. So you're not going to have Jedis anymore, you're going to have Skywalkers.
I like that. That sounds like a good plan.
Because there's like one race in one random book where that random planet, the language they speak, the term they use for Force translates into English or Galactic, whatever the common tongue translates to the word Skywalker. So that's where the theory comes from. So the Force term in that language translates to Skywalker.
Interesting. I don't know. It's going to be a difficult thing to figure out without seeing the movie because it's such a cryptic thing.
So if you had to bet, what would you think is the most likely of those 3 scenarios? That Rey is a Skywalker, Kylo gets a redemption arc, or they're going to make a new type of Force clan or whatever called Skywalkers.
I would think maybe Kylo gets a redemption arc, but I think the last thing you said about like the race, not the race, but like the union called Skywalker. Mm-hmm. I think that might be what happens because we already know. I thought we already knew that Rey's wasn't a Skywalker. I thought we cleared that up in that movie because
we heard it from Kylo, right? Who was trying to manipulate her to the dark side.
Yeah, but I thought the only way that she could be a Skywalker is if Luke was her father.
Leia also. Nice one.
Oh,
nice one.
Didn't even mean to do that.
No, you could have also had Leia also. Could have been her mother. That's the only way.
But how? We would have... I don't think Leia would have gotten rid of her.
I agree. That's why I don't think it's likely.
Yeah, very unlikely. So, I don't know. This is interesting.
Let's talk about the Kylo redemption arc. Because I think that's the most... To me, personally, I think that's the most interesting story that they can go with. Obviously, it'd be treading over the same waters or whatever, like they did, with episode 7 being like episode 4. So at the end of this trilogy, you're also going to have the bad guy like Darth Vader have a redemption arc. Like, I get it. I get why people don't want it, but thematically, it makes sense from a storytelling perspective why the bad guy would see the error of his ways and then be persuaded by the light or the Jedi or whatever to do the right thing. So that's the one I'm the most interested in.
He would come back. Maybe Luke comes back to him in multiple visions and explains everything.
Right.
But
he
Luke,
tells him, my bad, we good? And he's like, we good. And he's like, by the way, call me Kylo Skywalker. That's a good compromise. Because it's not Ben, but it's not Kylo Ren.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, I'm just going to straight up admit it here, Joe.
Go ahead.
I didn't know right away that it was Palpatine's laugh
until I saw it.
No. Until I saw it on the internet after I watched the trailer when it dropped. Like, cause I heard the laugh, but Luke Skywalker was like talking. He was narrating the whole trailer, and you know how Mark Hamill has like that Joker laugh or whatever. That I thought it was like a weird twist for Ghost Skywalker, and I was very confused. I was like, why was he laughing like that? And then I saw everyone freaking out on the internet that it was Palpatine's laugh, and I'm like, oh, that throws a wrinkle into this that I was not expecting.
Well, it kind of goes off what he said. He goes, what did he say? No one's ever really gone. We're always here with you.
Right.
And then that laugh.
Like the Amanda Show.
Do it.
Do it. So what does that mean? Like, are they adding him in now to like connect more with the original trilogy because the eighth movie kind of just like shat on everything that came before it? And they want to try to bring people back. We have Lando. We still got Leia. Like, we're going to bring Palpatine back. Like, is this just like... What do you think it was planned the whole time to have Palpatine in Episode 9?
Well, I briefly saw
that kind of rhymed.
Yeah. We're going to have Palpatine in Episode 9. Is he going to drop in a mixtape or something with that?
No, because you just did.
Yeah, I got it. Boom, donezo. I actually saw an article saying that how... Lucas, the boy from our good boy from Smash. No, George Lucas had worked with the who was is it J.J. Abrams still?
Yeah, he's directing Episode 9 now.
Yeah, he worked with them, including to put Palpatine in there to finish a story along that he's been working on, like. Through that he had worked into the series a while ago that he was planning on using.
Oh, I did not know that. I was not aware.
It was like a brief article that I saw. I didn't really read it, but
But that's how we consume news nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just briefs.
Right.
Briefing.
You see the headline, you get the gist of it. You don't give them the click. Yeah, I'm excited that our boys Poe and Finn are back. Poe's looking fit. He's got like a gun. He's looking like Nathan Drake with a scarf on. Like, and these are all photos that they showed off at the event or whatever. But like, this one seems pretty serious. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of joking around and waiting to call your mother or whatever with General Husk or whatever. Remember at the beginning of Episode 8?
I think we got it. I think we're gonna have it.
Really? I don't know. They might take a different tone.
I don't know. I think we still got it. I think we still got it, Mr. Brown.
You have anything else on this? Because it's hard with just the one trailer. Let's talk about Lando. Now, Lando...
He laughing like it ain't no one's business.
He's like,
exactly.
He's like, how much did Donald Glover get paid for Solo? He's like, to play me? He's like, I'm coming out of retirement. Can't let Donald Glover get all that money.
Yeah,
Play
exactly.
Me. So Lando is my favorite character in the original trilogy. So I'm honestly kind of torn here because I'm excited to have him back, but it would have been nice to have him in the first two. So it like in my head, it still feels like the same thing how I feel about them, including Palpatine here. Like I don't know if it was thematically necessary and that's why they went for it, or they're trying to do something to appeal to the fans and that's more important to them than the story, and that's what worries me about it, because it's like where like Lando easily could have been at least mentioned once in these last two movies. Like Han could have said, my buddy's off running wherever. Like could have had a throwaway line just to mention that he exists, and now he's like he's flying the Millennium Falcon again or whatever. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm a little nervous about that because he is my favorite character.
Okay, well, I think he'll be good. I think I think everything's going to be A-okay, Joe Brown. I think we've got to trust this boy because we've trusted him before, and he's done us so well already. You just got to trust him.
I will always trust in Billy D. All right, so last thing with Palpatine. Do you think he's been orchestrating this the whole time, the last 35 years? Was he in charge of Snoke? Was Snoke actually strong at all, or was he just a pawn the entire time? Like the reveal of Palpatine it's huge, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what do you think his role is?
I think I don't know. I kind of think he has been behind the scenes, like controlling that one dude that died. But I don't know. I can't figure out what our good man Palp has been doing, because I guess I haven't really been paying attention to what the dark side has really been doing in all of this.
Right. Because it's been so mysterious. We haven't really had answers.
Yeah, we haven't had any answers to what they're actually doing. So maybe there's something huge going on behind the scenes that we just haven't been able to see. That will come into this one. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's hard. It's really hard because it's really been a mystery for everything.
No, go ahead.
It's hard to kind of decode what Palpatine's gonna do. Like maybe if I read the books or stuff like that, I would know a little bit more.
Right.
But I haven't, so I don't know what it could be. All I know is that he's laughing in the background, and it's making a big mess.
It would be funny if we get footage of Ghost Palpatine, like coming out. We got Ghost Yoda, Ghost Luke, and all this stuff, and then we get Ghost Hayden Christensen back from the re-releases on DVD, where they changed out the old Darth Vader for Hayden Christensen.
Well,
dude, that would be so funny.
That'd be dope. I would love it. Wouldn't you love it? I would love it.
I would love it.
I would love it. I would love it so much.
It'd be hilarious. It's like we're bringing everybody back.
Bringing them back. Bringing them back. Bringing them back. Bringing them back. What about Obi? Would we bring back? What's his name?
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, we bring him back as Obi.
Hell yeah, you better. He better get his own storyline or whatever on Disney Plus. Better get his own series.
Yeah, he better.
They're making all those Marvel series and Star Wars series for Disney Plus.
Yeah, seriously.
So I'm excited for that, but that doesn't come out till like November or something. Disney Plus. They're gonna put all the Marvel movies and Disney movies. So Netflix is they're in some trouble there.
What, they're losing Star Wars
and Disney movies? What are you gonna show kids?
All the other stuff that's on Netflix.
It's a good point.
Like Netflix has great shows that aren't Marvel or Disney. It's like the Umbrella Academy or
my 6-year-old has the day off. Let's just dive into House of Cards.
Yes, let's dive into House of Cards and watch this good man push another woman onto a train track.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Oh God, what a show!
What a show. There's a good show on Netflix that I started watching that I can't remember. Uh it was a cartoon. It was real
Is it that
good.
weird one that's like not was it not Orphan Black or Black Mirror that like every episode's different or something that's animated? I saw that one. Like Death, Love, and Robots or something like that.
No, not that. That's not a kids movie.
No, you said it was animated. That I'm sorry, that is animated.
Yeah, but that's got the sex in it.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So when I was like, yeah, there's a kids movie that's animated
didn't
on
know
Netflix,
you were talking about a kids movie.
automatically were just like, oh yeah, the one that's got robots and sex. That one's
Yeah.
good for kids.
That's probably. Hey, they'd be entertained.
I think it's Hilda.
I don't know. I know all the kids these days are.
Yeah, it's Hilda. It's such a good show.
They're into the Sabrina the Teenage Witch show.
Oh yeah, that show.
The revival that they made of that.
This show, Joe Brown. This
with
one.
Sally Draper.
Oh yeah, I know. She's not a good actor.
Oh, I mean that looks appealing to kids.
It was appealing to me.
Damn.
I know.
I like that in our I didn't have Discord open.
Oh, and you
I was on
now.
OBS, so I see your conversation now. We could stop now. With Smash.
Yeah, and then you were like, let's just talk about it in the pod. Yeah, all right. You got it. All you.
So let's stop talking about The Last Jedi because we need more information. Hopefully we'll get something on May 4th because, May the 4th be with you and all. But
Yeah.
let's go on to our second topic, which you are very hyped about, Joe. So lead us in on Borderlands 3.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Ooh.
So essentially, Borderlands 3 comes out in September
13th, 2019.
Yeah, so I'm real pumped about it because there's been like rumors about a Borderlands game being made since I think 2014.
It's been a while.
Like there's been rumors about it, and we finally got a trailer. We finally got some information on it. Like we got the bad guys in it. We've got the new Vault Hunters in it. We've got old characters from other games in it, like Reyes from Tales of the Borderlands, and we got Lilith,
from Borderlands 2, right?
Yeah. And we got a bunch of the old Borderlands 2 characters in it. We got Tiny Tina, who's grown up.
And apparently I see this article on the site that Ashley Birch is returning to reprise that role as Tiny Tina.
Yeah, and I'm in love with that.
So I am not like the largest Borderlands fan. I think I played the first couple hours of Borderlands 1 with you one time over Steam, and that's about it. And then I played Tales from the Borderlands from Telltale, which is I think it's actually definitively that is my favorite Telltale episodic game that I played from that company. And I wasn't even a Borderlands fan. So when I was playing it with my brother, who is a gigantic Borderlands fan, and he was enjoying it, I was enjoying it, and we're both enjoying it for different reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I knew who Claptrap was or whatever, but like, he got all the more deep meta things that a Borderlands fan would get, but I was still entertained at the base level because it was a really fun and engaging story that they told. So I've always liked the appeal of Borderlands. I just never really played it, and it is one, like, from what I understand, it's one of those shooters that makes you like not want to play any other shooters because it's so fun to play with your friends and stuff. And the loot system is like, you get the feedback loop and everything like that. So what do you like so much about Borderlands that makes you excited for the third one?
I just like the story and I like how you play the game. I like how funny it is and like how the characters kind of play off of each other, and like Claptrap is like hilarious.
Claptrap's your boy.
Claptrap is my boy. Scooter was also my boy, but Scooter
Was that the Catch a Ride guy?
Yeah, but he sadly won't be in this one.
Catch a ride, catch a ride.
Catch a ride! But yeah, so he's not gonna be in this one. But we still got Moxie. We got all the class favorites of like his name. The gun shop guy. I remember.
There was the guy playing the saxophone in the trailer. He's one of the playable characters, right? He was like a tank or something.
Brick. He was in the original Borderlands. He was
right, because I remember seeing him as a character I could have chose.
Yeah, he was the berserker. But going for it. He's the berserker, and there's like all of the old like characters you can choose from the past games are now just NPCs in this game.
Oh, I like that.
So like in the Borderlands 1, in Borderlands 2, all of the old characters that you could choose from the first one to play were NPCs in that one. So like Lilith was a character, and stuff like that.
The assassin guy who looks
Zero.
Like,
no,
like
Zero
Gen-
was
looks like Genji to me.
Zero was a playable character in the second one, but he was a NPC in Tales from the Borderlands, and he's going to be an NPC in this game.
Yeah, that's what I remember was from Tales.
Yeah. But yeah,
I might give it a shot. I mean, my brother's a big fan. You're a big fan of it. Like, I think if you're playing with a group or whatever, it can be fun. And there's a bunch of I don't know if they're raids in this classical sense, like a WoW raid or something, but like group events where you like they're difficult and you need like 4 people or whatever, right? To like try to run through.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess vault is the correct term, but
yeah. But like you don't need everybody doesn't need to be a different character. You can all be like the same character if you really want to.
I think we both played the girl in Borderlands 1 when we were playing.
Yeah, you're both Lilith.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be that robot boy in this next one.
Dude, we didn't even talk about BB-8's new friend, CC9. I don't know what his name is. I have no idea what his name is.
You're an absolute jerk. We gotta find out more before we talk about him, all right? We're gonna come back to him to talk.
How mad would you be if J.J. Abrams... I'm sure they announced his name at that event, but if he was like, introducing CC9, would you just like facepalm?
Yeah, a little bit.
BB-8's new friend, CC9. Anyway, back to Borderlands. So obviously, I had no understanding of how the worlds worked and everything, but there's like different planets, and everyone's scavenging or whatever, and then the one planet you were on was like particularly bad with a bunch of bad guys and whatever the psychos were called with the masks. I can't remember their names.
They're called psychos.
There we go. So you had the psychos and then like other bad guys in that world, but like different planets had different resources or values, and it seemed like in this trailer you're going to be having a lot more varied of like regions. Like there was like cold places or like places with trees, and then desert places, and it seems like it's going to be totally different.
You really didn't play any of the other Borderlands, did you?
I didn't. That's what I'm saying.
You go through Pandora, going to vastly different areas in the game. Some ice, some desert, some like forest. Yeah, like that's a thing. But like in this new game, instead of you being on one planet, you get to travel to other planets.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You go through a galaxy.
I think that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped to know the story. Like, the story is always the best. The villains look like they're going to be fun. I'm going to miss my boy Handsome Jack, but he gone.
Borderlands has always had good villains, right?
Yeah, these villains do look good, though. They still look great.
Yeah, they even point that out in the trailer. It was like, I forget what the text said. It was like, villains, we got them, or something like that.
Yeah.
Shut them off.
You want villains? We got them. Because their villains are always like important to the story. Someone's always trying to get to the vault and get rid of them, get in front of them vault hunters. And they always refer to vault hunters as unicorns. But yeah.
Now, okay, serious question about these vault hunters and everything. Because I'm still trying to understand how this world works, Joe. All right, so bear with me.
I'm ready.
Is like is the point, or I guess like the punchline, that like every vault is empty, and that's the joke of it, is you go on this huge journey and then you get through the vault and it turns out to be empty, or
No,
was that just the experience in Tales from the Borderlands?
that was just the experience in Tales of the Borderlands.
Okay, because I was like super confused. I'm like, wait, why would they go through all that stuff just for the vault to be empty?
Usually, inside of the vault, there's usually either like a huge warrior or a bunch of like in the second one, actually in the first and second one, to give it away. So if you don't want to know what's in them and you haven't played the games yet, spoilers ahead. They're usually filled with some like crazy diabolical monster that
Okay.
is like a warrior to like take over that you can use to like take over the universe. And in the first one, you beat it, and it causes the planet to crack open and have a rare resource called it starts with an E. It's not uranium. That's an actual thing. Ethereum? No. It's like
Ectoplasm.
no.
I don't know. I'm throwing out E words.
Iridium. It caused the planet to crack and have this iridium kind of mineral that became very rare and valuable. And then at the end of the second one, Jack tries to get this monster to like take over and destroy Pandora, which he obviously fails at because you kill him and the monster, and that monster drops like a ton of loot. So it's essentially like you kill the monster, and the monster's the one holding all the loot. But everybody always seems to be misinformed about what's going on in these vaults, and no one seems to listen about what's actually inside of them. So I don't remember exactly what happened at the end of Tales of the Borderlands, because I don't remember them opening a vault.
They went into a vault and like they opened this chest or whatever, but then they disappeared.
Oh yeah, it brought them.
Like that, I thought they
that
died or something.
That was a different. I'm thinking of the pre-sequel, because that happened in the pre-sequel. Like you teleported into a different like area and fought a giant monster there
We're
too.
all over the place. I'm gonna be so lost in September, Joe.
Yeah, because they're all connected.
Oh my god, I gotta play all these games now. I know they've sold the Handsome Jack collection like 87 times, like just as much as Skyrim. So
No, they only did it once, but
no.
Yeah, this is the second time they're doing it.
No. It was on like the 360 generation, and it was on the new generation. Like, it was all over the place. It was all over the place.
Well, they released it for both the 360 and the Xbox One at the same time.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, what else?
That's what I said. I said, I don't know.
All right. Any other questions about the Borderlands series?
Did they show Claptrap in the trailer? Is he gonna be
Oh
back?
yeah, he's all over that trailer.
Okay, I just can't remember. Because I remember, if you want to tell the story, Joe, you used Claptrap as an educational exercise.
I used Claptrap on one of my bulletin boards in college when I was an RA to get kids to do their homework.
It was pretty cool. That was still when we were like just getting to know each other, and I was like, this guy rocks.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
All right, you ready for a third topic, Joe?
I'm ready for our third and final topic, man.
So it is another game that Joe has been playing, called Sekiro.
Ole. What? Oh, Shakira.
Not Shakira. Sekiro.
These hips don't lie.
These hips don't lie twice.
These hips don't lie twice.
So Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Obviously from, the same vein as Dark Souls and Bloodborne and all those super hard games that are like crazy challenging and you die a million times, and then the reward is that once you beat the whichever boss you're on, you feel this elation like, yes, I've finally overcome this huge hurdle. So that's the type of gameplay that Sekiro is going for. And there's been a really big discussion online about the importance for accessibility, or players who aren't good enough. And obviously, like, the thing that Dark Souls is most known for, like, in a meme way, is get good, right? When people complain about the difficulty of Dark Souls, the response was always like, get good, scrub. So there's like some genuine backlash. There's been a lot of articles written about how Sekiro should add easy modes or accessibility modes or things like that. And a lot of gamers are they're standing back against that type of opinion. But then there's a lot of other people in the gaming industry or journalists or something like that, and people who play with disabilities who are trying to show the other side of the argument. So as of right now, Sekiro Shadows Dies Twice does not have it does not have an easy mode or accessibility mode or anything. And as I'm trying to include or find the quote here, Miyazaki, who's made all Bloodborne, Dark Souls, you know, people know the name Miyazaki. His quote says, "We don't want to include a difficulty selection because we want to bring everyone to the same level of discussion and the same level of enjoyment," Miyazaki said. "So we want everyone to first face that challenge and to overcome it in the same way that suits them as a player," said Miyazaki. And the many others who share those sentiments are not taking into account that for people with disabilities, the playing field doesn't start everyone off on the same level. So I'm just, as we start our discussion here, Joe, I'm wondering where you kind of fall on this spectrum.
I don't think there should be an easy mode in the game at all.
Okay.
I think bringing up the people who have disabilities as a crutch to make that is kind of a weak argument, because people with disabilities have been able to play any type of game since games have been made, mainly because there's people out there helping them figure out how to play these games and making special controllers for them to play the game. So being like, yeah, people with disabilities can't play this game, so you need to make an easy mode because I don't know how to play this game. It's like, okay, yeah, no, just start off with the fact that you don't know how to play the game and that you can't play the game at the level that they have it set. So that's why you're mad about it. You're mad that you're not this prodigy son that comes in, can kill everything and just drag your feet the whole time and get rewarded for it when you have to work at playing it. Like, no, this is not. From Software has made a reputation for themselves.
Right.
They make games.
The get good mentality.
Yeah. They make games they make games to make you work at it. And it's just like, you know it going in, so then what's the problem? Don't get the game if you don't want to do that. There are people that stream it. There are people that
right.
That there's people that put videos up about it.
You go watch Game Grumps Let's Play of it.
Yeah, you can watch Game Grumps Let's Play of it, but it's just I don't think there should be an easy mode put into the game. If I was able to make it through the game and I've never played a From Software game before and I enjoyed it, you can play this game. Yeah, I got frustrated. Yeah, it got annoying. But I banged my head against the wall and I finally was able to get through it. And now I'm on a second playthrough of it and I'm loving it.
Because you hate yourself.
I don't hate myself. The game is beautiful.
No, I'm saying the torture of the first time getting through it was it's tough. It's a very challenging thing to do.
Yeah, it is. But I honestly don't think that people use people with disabilities in gaming as a excuse for things a lot. And I feel like they're not, because they always come to shine. They always come through and shine, and we always see videos of that's one of the main supporters in games done quick, awesome games done quick, is the ability that people make special controllers for people with disability.
Right. And then the Microsoft, that new controller, me.
I know what you're talking about. The Microsoft even made a set of buttons that you can change to any, you can key them to any one of the buttons on an Xbox controller, and you can use them to play games. It's we're making strides for this, so this should no longer even be a topic of discussion. Go ahead.
so the article that I'm reading it from, it's not. I don't I don't tend to agree with journalists necessarily on this point. You know, if you're working for whichever company and you got to get a review out and it's taking longer because you don't have as much skill, right? So then the argument could be made there that they kind of selfishly want easier mode so they can get it through quicker, so they can get their review out better or quicker, right? So that argument I don't I don't necessarily agree with. But the article that I'm reading, or that got me where I'm kind of starting to lean the other direction, is from Steve Spahn, who is the Chief Operations Officer and Community Outreach Director for Able Gamers, the charity. And I believe he's like a Twitch streamer also, or he's a prominent figure, especially for disabled gamers within the gaming community. And so this article has like basically his points on it, where he is disabled and people are interested in how he finds different ways to play games and all this stuff. So what he thinks is, I'll just read a specific quote and then I'll give my opinion. He says, there are ways to make the games more accessible that don't change the experience and don't hinder the development process. Let's say what I think. So he also points out in the article that the discussion has changed or shifted from the original point about accessibility to an easy mode because of, like, again, like the headline culture that we live in. People only read headlines that they should include an easy mode. And what he is arguing for is more similar to what Celeste has, which is an accessibility mode. So, and then just another quote real quick. The idea behind From Software's game difficulty is that you face a challenge, possibly die doing it, and then repeatedly try until you learn how to overcome it. But for many players with disabilities, there is no feeling of hope. No matter how much some disabled gamers study a fight, the physical demands of the confrontation are too much, and there's no way to overcome the challenge. This leads to the exact thing the creators of Sekiro want to avoid: people becoming frustrated with their limitation and quitting the game before they can achieve that feeling of victory. So what Celeste does, and I don't know if you played Celeste or not, but obviously very critically acclaimed or whatever game last year that won a bunch of awards.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult game. I did actually feel very accomplished when I got through it because I'm not good at that type of game. But what it does is its accessibility modes. It's not just a normal and a hard. Like, it's not like here's the normal platform levels and then easy mode. Like you have a wider platform or something like that. You know what I mean? Like to land on, or you get an additional jump or something like that. What they do is it will slow, so you can play the game at 100%, or you can play it at 90% if your reaction time is not as strong as the conventional player, or 80%, or something like that. And there's a whole bunch of different options. Like you can have, I believe you can have like more height or something like that to try to make those jumps if you're not as good at it. Like, and the creators of Celeste have talked about, many times that, like, the reason, so like combat speed or resurrections or things like that, it really, all it does, because as a regular player like myself, I saw that as like I didn't want to touch those, right? Like I'm not going to play Spider-Man or God of War on easy mode. Like I want to play it in the normal intended way, the way it was intended to be experienced. But they also understood that not everyone had the same capability as I had to be able to get through it in that, under the same circumstances. So they added the speed, sliders and things like that to help out. So I think if you were right, if the question was, should they add an easy mode, which just meant like you do more damage, enemies deal less damage to you, your attacks are quicker, something like that, I would agree with you, no, because that's not the intention of the art form. And that's one of the counter arguments people come up with, is games are art, people are allowed to make it however they want it to be. But so I would agree with you in general. No, it shouldn't be an easy mode. But if they would like to include an accessibility mode, I mean, you see that in Mario Odyssey, in like a lot of obviously Nintendo games with younger children, playing with them. Like which one? I think it was Kirby, or one of the Kirby games, or one of the Yoshi games. Like you could turn on the ability for, if you fell into pits, you just bounce back up. You know what I mean? So if you're a very young kid, you can still get through the game and enjoy it. So I think that makes much more sense. If we change the conversation from easy mode and normal mode to accessibility mode, because it doesn't hinder your experience of it, because you're still experiencing it in the normal intended way and now in your new game plus or whatever. But what it does is it lets other people who wouldn't be able to struggle through it physically be able to experience the game.
But the thing is, how does that change? How does that accessibility not change it to an easy mode? Because how are you going to change the accessibility? Like, what do you change? You know what I mean? Like, what makes it accessible? You not being killed in the game? Like, that's
the thing is, as someone who has not played the game, I would assume probably maybe like making it slower or something like that. Like, I don't know, and again, with disabilities, someone could be missing a right arm or right hand, but then one other person could be missing just 2 fingers or something. You know what I mean? Like, so disabilities as a whole is such a broad spectrum to try to cover.
Yeah. I guess so. But,
so like that challenge for a guy who only has one hand is different for a guy who has 8 fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. I got you.
So I guess my solution, or I would agree with Steven here, would be that Celeste style of either, changing the speeds or something like that, or giving you larger windows for your attacks to land, or less windows for the enemy's attacks to land on you. Like, obviously these are all just like basic things off the top of my head, but
yeah.
So like, would the existence of that fundamentally, my argument is that if that existed for accessibility for other people, would that fundamentally change the way the intent of the creators and how the game is played for regular players playing on normal or hard or whatever?
I don't know, because I don't like changing. I don't know how the accessibility thing would change it. All
right, so this is also interesting. In the same article, so Cory Barlog, who was the director of God of War last year, Steve puts these tweets that he has out. He says, accessibility has never and will never be a compromise to my vision. To me, accessibility does not exist in contradistinction to anyone's creative vision, but rather it is an essential aspect of any experience you wish to be enjoyed by the greatest number of humans as possible. Sorry to all llamas, this is not for you. And he has like a llama emoji. Something can be both difficult and have a good suite of accessibility features. I believe my take after only one conversation with Miyazaki's games are about creating a strong meaning and weight to everything you find, not being difficult for the sake of being difficult. Accessible features do not equal easy mode. Challenge, even extreme challenge, can coexist with options to allow gamers difficult or different from you to play the same game with the same level of challenge.
Okay.
I'm just saying I think that was interesting because he is very obviously, he knows what he's doing with video games since he made God of War.
Yeah. I got you.
So go.
I got you.
Sorry.
No, that was it. I didn't have anything else to say. I just think you can't just because you can't beat a game and you can't play the game or get the vision, or like it's not accessible to you because you're not willing to put like in the work to play the game, then I don't think it's fair for the creator to have to change their vision of the game for you. That's like saying like a band has to change the way they play music to make one person happy. The fans are gonna like the band's music because they're fans of the music. They're not gonna like the band because they make it accessible to everybody. Usually fans get annoyed when certain musicians do that.
Right. When you're like, oh, they're selling out.
They're selling out. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of, I feel like this is kind of the same thing with this game, but I don't know. I beat it, so if I can beat it, I feel like most people can beat it.
You're just dissing yourself like that?
I've never played a game like this before. Like, I don't know.
Well, I guess as we're wrapping up this discussion, if you'd like to give your opinions and kind of semi-review of Sekiro or whatever, since we haven't ever had a chance to discuss it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, I haven't played it. You're the one who beat it. You're playing a second file now. You've played it. What's your thoughts?
I love it. It's great. It's a hard game that stabs me in the face several times, but I keep playing it.
So what do you like about it?
It's just it's interesting. The story's interesting. The fighting is actually kind of fun. Like it's like block, stab, block, break the person's posture and be able to kill them. Like I don't need to like whittle down an enemy's health. All I have to do is block their perfectly block their attacks enough to break their posture and give them a killing blow and thus kill them immediately. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like Game of Thrones. I'm
Oberyn Martell. Just
what was it? Dark Souls was more of like dodge, hide, step back, don't really get in there just yet. Like wait for your opportunity. Where this game is like just get in their face,
right.
Just do it. Dodging will still hurt you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely those the older From Software games taught you like patience and like how many videos you see online of somebody who was like one hit away from killing a boss and they got too aggressive and then died for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
plus the ability to come back once you died is also a pretty good thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting mechanic that I don't think I've really seen explored too many times.
Yeah.
Except for like Mario Odyssey, where you just live forever. You just lose 10 coins when you die.
Yeah.
It was pretty baller.
It was pretty baller. Pretty baller.
All right. So, Joe, what if I were to tell you that I have not been recording this whole time?
I would murder you.
Okay, thank God I get to live, because I was joking. But I did check to make sure, because I had not been... I didn't have OBS open, and I was like, oh God, please tell me I've been recording. Yes, we have. So, that is another episode of Cup of Joe's in the Book. It's been a while, life comes at you hard sometimes, so...
We got this.
Try to make yourself available when you can, and hopefully we can have a little more consistent schedule in the coming months. But you got anything else you want to plug or whatever before we leave here?
Let's get ready for that Game of Thrones, baby. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. All right, quick, because we have not watched the first episode yet. We got 6 episodes left. Who's gonna end up on the Iron Throne?
Jon Snow. He doing it. He bringing the heat. Nope. I changed my mind. It's gonna be that little chubby kid. Is like
Podrick.
No. The fat kid that becomes a baker. That was with Arya. I want to say that his name was Pot Pie.
I thought you were gonna say Podrick, because people have been saying that as a joke with Brienne, and he would just be so confused sitting on the throne, having no idea what to do.
Yeah, no.
That'd be so funny.
Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay.
All right, I'm going to say Jon Snow as well.
Yeah.
It's basic, but I think thematically it makes sense. It would be the ultimate literary rags to riches story of all time.
Yeah, it would be.
So that's what I'm rooting for. And, maybe you can have some more more intimate scenes with him and his aunt. I wouldn't complain about that. But anyway, Joe, take us home.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another great Cup of Joe's. We'll hopefully be back next time. Hopefully we'll record another episode within the next week, and we'll get out there for you to come and listen to us talk about some crazy stuff again. Hopefully we'll talk about this episode of Game of Thrones. But I've been your good boy, Joe Parian, always accompanied me by my good friend Joe Brown, and we'll catch you on another episode of Cup of Joe's.